Hello, I'm Josh George, doing my video over the independence of college football, FBS. Now, we're going to start with the UConn Huskies here. UConn canceled their season last year and did not play any college football whatsoever. So, really an experienced team, a team that has been in the bottom 10 for a long time. James Bowe taking over. Weak D-line. Not a lot to talk about. Might be the worst football team in America. I've got them 0-12. Now, New Mexico State. They play a lot of teams in the Sun Belt. Play some teams in the American Conference, a team that probably needs to get into a conference for recruiting and things. They lost to two high schools last year. They lost to a high school last year, 17-43. They played two high schools, didn't really play much football. One of those teams I've got going 0-12. Now, on to UMass. They played some FCS teams this year. They played some FCS teams last year. They're still not one of the best teams. One of the teams that might need to get in a conference, to get recruiting up. I've got them at 4-8. Now, to BYU, a team that lost a quarterback to the NFL. They're a decent team. When you look at all the independents together, they're actually number 2 in the 247 composite and in rivals as far as talent goes. Number 2 in recruiting as well. Now, when you look at overall, they're 81 in recruiting, 81 in talent, in the composites, and at least for 247. And they're breaking in a new quarterback, and they only have 6 total starters back on offense. 10 on D, that was a decent defense. Really a team that looked good, with the exception of that weird loss to Coastal Carolina last year. To tell you the whole truth about it, that was the weirdest thing ever. That game was scheduled on Thursday, finalized. So, and then they played on Saturday. So, interesting team. They play a full schedule this year, play a lot of power teams, and I think that's going to show kind of the depth and things of this team. I've got them 7-5 this season. Now, to the Army Knights, well, you can see I've got them at 9-3. Jeff Monken has maintained a good team, a good option attack. They played a lot of close games, and they only averaged 26 points per game, but their games were mostly between 5 and 10 points kind of a thing, including close losses to Cincinnati 10-24 and to West Virginia in the bowl game 21-24. So a lot of close games here. And you can see the games I've got them losing there at Ball State, at Wisconsin, and Wake Forest. They keep games close and they find a way to win in the end. So then the Liberty Flames, fan it. Fan the flame. Hugh Freeze is there. Malik Willis at quarterback, the transfer from Auburn, who's a good quarterback. People have him going in the NFL draft this year somewhere between the second and the 5th round, really, honestly. Look, they looked good. They found a way to beat a good Coastal team in the bowl game. They beat a Syracuse team 38-21 and really wound up playing a full schedule as an independent, which is really super impressive. Notre Dame couldn't do it, just saying. I've got to go with 10-2. I don't think they can beat 2 Power 5s this year. I'll have them beating Syracuse, but I don't think Hugh can win at his own stomping ground against Ole Miss. And then I think Army outrushes them. I've got them at 10-2 this season. Now, to Notre Dame Fighting Irish. That's really what people want to talk about. They've got transfer quarterback Jack Cohen here, and he was lighting up college football last year. Now they've only got 4 starters back on offense, but Cohen could change this offense around, the whole dynamic. An offense that they completed more passes to tight ends and running backs than wide receivers. Cohen changes that up as he completed 70% of his passes last year in a Badger uniform. Now, in his first 2 games at Wisconsin, the offense put up 45 and 49 points. Now, then COVID and things changed, of course. The offense didn't look as good, but he put up 42 points in the Duke's Mayo Bowl with Wisconsin against Wake Forest. So this kid could be the best transfer quarterback we have ever seen in college football. And I know who I'm comparing him to. Guys like Baker Mayfield, Kyler Murray, and Joe Burrow. Okay? All guys that won the Heisman. And I will put out a video about who I think will win the Heisman and various awards later on. But he will definitely be in contention for that. And he is the guy that they are counting on. Now, this defense was really good last year, really consistent, really helped them to pull away in a lot of games as they won an average of their ACC games last year. Yes, they were in a conference last year by 17-1 in the regular season. And that doesn't include a 52-0 rout against South Florida. So Brian Kelly has this team rolling, and I really have a positive outlook for Notre Dame. I think they could be a top 10, top 5 team. I've got to losing to Wisconsin. I feel like they figure him out there. But 11-1 and probably a lot of blowouts. Probably a lot of those 17 to 20 point wins this year for them. I'm Josh George. That was the Independence.